There's been a long-running investigation into claims that medical aides have been racially profiling doctors, and if they were black or Indian, were not paying them as quickly as they paid white doctors. A three-person panel investigating the claims heard evidence last year about how black and Indian doctors had their lives ruined by this practice. Now the panel wants to release an interim report into what it's found so far. But at least two medical aid organisations, the Government Employee Medical Scheme, GEMS, and the Board of Healthcare Funders, went to court yesterday to block it from being released. Dr. Stanley Moloabi is the Principal Officer of GEMS. Dr. Moloabi, good afternoon to you. Why are you trying to use the courts to block this report?
Good afternoon, Stephen, and good afternoon to the viewers of Newzroom Afrika. We certainly are not trying to block the ultimate release of the report, as has been the narrative in the media. We only seek to be given a right of reply to the interim report. What was going to be released yesterday at 12 o'clock to the media is an interim report. It's not a final report. So the reason why we went to court, we were just praying to the court that we be given the chance to peruse the report and then reply to the findings. Then the report can be, and then the panel should, as it is normal course, that in inquisitorial investigations, before a report is made final, the affected parties are usually given a chance to reply to the findings. These are then considered, and then the report is finalized and made public. So that's all we are asking for. And I just need to add that I am answering these questions being mindful of the fact that the matter is still before the courts. It is sub judice, so I need not get into the merits of I just would be able to state the facts as I can state them.
Now, Dr. Moloabi, there's so much to argue with there, I'm afraid. Firstly, the sub judice rule hardly exists in South Africa. It's not me that's saying that. It's the former Deputy Chief Justice Takong Moseneke who said that many times. Other people have made the same point. In fact, there are rulings from the Supreme Court of Appeal on this. We'll put that to one side for the moment. You knew from November the 27th last year that the interim report would be released, right?
Those arguments are before the court, and I want to be careful. Even I've heard what you just said. So there was definitely an announcement around towards the end of November that the report is to be released, and then subsequently it was not released at the request, we understand, of the regulator and the Minister of Health. So yes, we were aware at that time.
So you had 6 weeks and you waited until literally Sunday morning to go to court. Why did you wait 6 weeks?
No, Stephen. We, as I have just said, that the report was not released and we are aware. So I think, and these things were argued before the court, and they are still subject to being ruled on. And I need to, even what I heard what you said about the sub judice rule, I need to be careful. I don't want to contravene the rules, the laws of the court. So there were arguments before the court about that, and I mean, it was heard yesterday. So I think it's not my point to, pursue anymore. The matter was heard yesterday.
Dr. Moloabi, it can't be a state secret as to why it took you 6 weeks to take a decision to go to court. I mean, it can't be a state secret. Come on.
No, it's not a secret. I'm saying, I think you don't understand me. I'm saying, why should we get into the application yesterday and why we went to court on an urgent basis when the matter has already been heard? I would have thought that it will help the viewers for us to, state our case and correct any misunderstandings that are out there in the public domain. And there's quite a lot of things that have been said that are not correct.
Well, I'm giving you an opportunity to argue. Let me put it to you in a different way. You say that you haven't seen the interim report. I mean, of course, that must be correct. You must not have seen it. But you did give evidence as part of the investigation, right? The three-person panel, it's chaired by Advocate Mbeke and Glukai Toby. You did give evidence, so your side has been heard.
You are talking about at the investigation
Yes.
hearings themselves.
Yes. Yes.
That is correct. We have
Yes.
made our case at the
Yes.
investigation hearing.
Yes.
But we didn't know when we put our case forward what would be the outcomes, what would be the findings. So I do confirm to you that I have not seen the report.
Okay.
What had happened? Let me explain what happened. What happened is that on Thursday last week, the steering committee that was formed at the beginning of the investigation were given the report, but they were instructed not to share the report
Sure.
itself.
Let
And
me
I'm not sitting in the steering committee, so I haven't seen the report.
No, of course. Here's where I'm going with this, Dr. Moloabi. Okay, you've been treated fairly by this committee. That's my point, is that there were claims made against you. You were given a chance to respond. So then they went to go and draw up their report, their interim report. Yes. I mean, it must be very clear, it's the interim report. They went to go and draw up their interim report. So you've been treated fairly up until that point. You knew from the end of November that this... Why were you not treated fairly then?
No. We haven't said we have been treated unfairly. We have supported the whole process, Stephen. What we are saying, and our prayer to the court is, the submissions to the actual in Section 59 investigations were done by all the parties. The panel then considered all these submissions. They then make findings. So what we are told from a legal point of view is that in inquisitorial investigations, once the investigators have made the findings that are not final, you would then be given an opportunity to respond to those findings, and then the panel, in this case, would then consider whatever your submissions are, and then they would make the report final, and then it would be released. And we are made to understand that is the loss of natural justice, and this sometimes is referred to as ode alteram partem rule, I am told by the legal people, and that's all we are asking for.
Okay, here's what I'm trying to get to, right? A group of people, quite a large number of people, we heard the evidence last year, Black and Indian doctors explained how their lives, their practices, their livelihoods, their careers had in some cases, according to them, been ruined by the practices of the medical aid. And let me just, say as well, Dr. Moloabi, it wasn't just GEMS. In fact, I don't think GEMS was necessarily, there are other parties involved here. But here's the thing. You were heard. You were given a hearing. So you must have been treated as fairly as the people who made the claim. You wait until the last minute to actually go to court to try and block this being released. And then when we give you a chance to speak, you say you try and hide behind the sub judice rule. I mean, can you understand my frustration? This is about, in a way, the biggest issue in South Africa, which is about race. It's about how Black and Indian doctors have been treated. And here we have a situation where, I realize you're representing the organization, it's not necessarily your choice, that now your organization is trying to block it at the last minute. Can you see how that looks?
Stephen, I hope we're not talking past each other here. I have explained that GEMS is participating and supports the process. We're asking for fairness. And you are saying we have been given a fair hearing at the investigation hearings which were public. I agree with you. But it is common knowledge that in instances where there is an inquisitorial investigation, parties are, as a matter of natural justice, given a chance to comment on findings, and then only then are reports made final. We are not blocking the finalization and the ultimate publication of the report. We're not. We're just asking that, can we be given the chance to comment? And then the panel makes the final report, considers our submissions, and then they make a final, they make the report final and publish it.
Dr. Stanley Moloabi, I do appreciate the engagement. I hope you feel that you were given a chance to respond to my questions. Thank you, sir. Dr. Stanley Moloabi is the Principal Officer of the Government Employee Medical Scheme, GEM.